it with everyone. What worked for him, he basically shared with everyone. Now, meditation is at the core, and the reason I say meditation is at the core, meditation is a fairly important part of satsang. But what I realized and found, and I was told that satsang is almost like a multi-dimensional support system for a meditation practice, or someone who, according to Guru Maharaj, who wants to achieve the ocean of peace, would be provided guidance, would be you know, supported in multiple ways. Um, you know, I think music is also like, devotional music, etc., is also integral part of satsang. And my father used to say that contemplation or remembrance, or the 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 and I think the way he described was, it's like staying connected all the time. So meditation is to feel the presence, feel connected at a certain time. But if you extend it further, and you feel it that way all the time, then that would be called chintan, and that is contemplation or remembrance. So that's also that's almost like a resultant of this practice. Inward orientation, and I feel that this is so important aspect of satsang. you know until and unless we realize that what we are looking for is essentially within us, uh, and we have to search and seek the peace, the love, the light within us. That's the key. And it may appear, a lot of these things may appear very simple and trivial, but believe me, a lot of these things are not very common, and in a way, it's kind of unfortunate. Group sessions, I can't talk. You know, it's I can't talk enough about group sessions. I've always said, like, those have been my lifelines. Group sessions have a collective energy, and I mean, I can go on and on talking about how. So while the goal is to evolve, individual practice, but group sessions actually have to be intertwined, in my view, into that, because that that just takes it to the next level, and it's almost like a booster dose every time. And joy and inner happiness. So inward orientation, takes us to a place which is full of joy within us, and this inner happiness. The way Guru Maharaj described it was, happiness that's tied to something material or otherwise, uh, is happiness acquired because of a certain reason. But then there is a almost inherent, or very integral to you yourself, a state of happiness, and that he calls inner happiness, where you just feel, if nothing else is going on, where are you? That state is your state of inner happiness. And satsang and meditation actually uplifts that level. And he used to emphasize that if your inner happiness is increasing, then you are on the right track. And then today's session, as usual, what we do is talk a bit, about satsang, about Guru Maharaj, and maybe a couple of topics here and there. And then the main focus always is how to meditate and practice, and then end with some Q&A and some other discussion. And I was kind of thinking that, I as I w- when I got into this practice, I always felt that, a lot of the initial discussions and after meditation, discourses, etc., were, a lot of times were, uh, a lot of those concepts were repeated. So why was that repetition important? And then it just late recently, I kind of realized that we are all caught up in something or the other. And if we were so capable that we could, like in a jiffy, switch over and meditate well, great. But most of us require some transition in and transition out, because I think transition in and transition out the are very, very integral and very important piece, of your practice. The stronger it is, the better your meditation. And it could be a couple of minutes, it could be a little more. Here, Guru Maharaj almost, uh, uh, you know, decided to take that, just transition, um, um, you know, just this transition. Uh, I mean, in traditional sessions, could be anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour of transition in, and so it's very interesting. For those who try to have a consistent and a deep meditative practice, realize how important this transition in is, because most of the time, it's not said that this is transition in. You just start discussing these topics and your orientation changes, and the more interesting the topic is, or the more interesting the music is, it kind of orients you into having a much deeper meditation after. So on that note, I think let's practice first, and then we'll discuss a few other things later. So let's sit in a relaxed posture, um, and make sure that you're not getting distracted. So every time your body moves, or every time there is discomfort, your mind goes there. So relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and then think of this transcendental energy in front of you. In the sense here, we're thinking about being with this energy right now, right here, feeling the presence, feeling the connection, in the sense that this transcendental energy in form of light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're getting completely immersed in this light. So this immersion process basically is that you're becoming the energy. So so the whole process, very simple, very powerful. And every time you get distracted, just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that you're observing this transcendental energy right here, right now, in form of light, and it's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. Let's start now. So, how's everyone? So Luz, Shivangi, Arvindji, Namaskar. How are you?
Yes, all good.
So, what's on your mind today?
Yeah, I was thinking when you mentioned about light within, the thought that came to me was the light within is achievable perhaps only with the help of a true guru or sadguru. And that is the biggest thing, even though the peace and the bliss are within us, to show us the path to that light, that bliss, the peace. Presence of a guru.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking about that just lately, and I think we all can achieve a lot of things ourselves, but it's like when um, if the candle has to light itself, that'll be interesting. So there must be, many ways to do that, but the a, a candle which is already lit, um, it's like takes no time to light several other candles, probably hundreds of other candles or more. So Shivangi, what's going on today?
Namaste, Bhaiya ji. Hi,
Namaskar.
everyone.
Hello.
Had a really good session. So just sitting in peace and quiet. Um,
So are you saying that there are no question in this peace and quiet?
um, I'm drawing a blank right now. That never happened.
Wow, that's remarkable. And I say it in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Luz, how are things?
Hi, everyone. Happy to be meditating with you all again. I think I missed a session. It could have been last, I'm not sure. And then there was one session where you weren't here. I guess you had canceled and some of us came, but we were still meditating. It was so great.
That's
अभी
yeah,
खत्म हो
that's
गया ऐसे क्वेश्चन आंसर चालू हो गए तो मैंने कहा तुझे कुछ बात करना है कोई बात नहीं बात कर सकती है वो उस पर लगा रही उस पर लगा नहीं पे वैक्स में इस पे तो बहुत आवाज कम आ रही लेकिन मेरे इसमें क्यों आवाज कम आ रही मुझे नहीं कैसा रहा तुम लोग का बाद में मजा आया मुझे लग रहा था बाद में मजा आया
so yeah, it was good to know that, see, typically, uh, you know, I always have someone who would, uh, you know, uh, have the session going. So, um, but this session is so unique and different. It's like I still haven't figured out how to make that happen. But I was glad to know that you all meditated, which is good.
Or some of us, and it could be that we were just waiting, but still, it was great. Today's meditation was great. I have to confess, I haven't really been meditating, and it's it was nice to have that today, and it's always nice to plug in. Um, and I liked Arvin's comment about the guru and how important the guru is in helping us unlock that secret door within ourselves, that light. Sometimes it's hard to get there by ourselves.
Yeah, especially like when you know, it's a lot about the obstacles and distractions and things that seem like the right thing to do. And so if having someone who has been there, done that, if you find, I think the key is like if you find someone who can steer you in the right direction, and that's the tough one, that part. All right. So Onkar, Warren, anything you want to share?
Good. Happy day, everybody. I'm doing better than excellent. I'm just a little stuffed up with allergies today, but I had a very good session today.
Yeah. No, I think yeah, peace and quiet. It's
Yes.
peace and quiet.
Namaste everyone. Bhaiya, I just want to add to what Arvind Bhai Sahib said. So, when a child is born in a society, that child actually learns speaking by seeing other people. And that child grow up and then keep communicating with others without any issues. So if you if you compare that with religion, so the religion's role actually stops when you understand how to communicate with others, how to live uh, like the society. But if you want to improve yourself, and if you want to write something, if you want to learn finer details of that language, like the like grammar, and if you want to write novels and poems and stories, then you will have to seek someone who knows the finer details of that language, and that person is called guru. So you will have to go to that person, learn that, like how to uh, write novels and what are the finer details of language. And that's where basically you need that person, and that person will actually teach you that language. Like no matter how long you live in the society speaking that language, you will never learn the finer details of that language until unless you go to someone. So that's where spirituality comes into picture, and the role of the guru actually comes. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I was just reading like um, one of the key principles, you know, uh, that Guru Maharaj talked about was, find someone who has achieved it, and then uh, you know that person would be able to steer you in the right direction. And so I was kind of just commenting on it that, like in the corporate world, I mean, you have consultants and thinking about Lewis lawyers, I mean, who have very, very specific knowledge. And what happens, I see it all the time, that those consultants would come in and uh, get something new going in no time because they have been there, done that before. And the people uh, will be, you know, will be trained or helped to get up to speed with it. And then, so it's I mean, there's so many examples of finding a consultant, mentor, guide. So spiritually, that was there too. Yeah. All right. So Liz, any wrap-up thoughts for today? Or Arvindji, or both?
No, I'm sorry. I don't think I have anything. I'm so sorry. I think I'm just still enjoying the peaceful quality of the meditation, and happy to just see everyone.
No, this is this its statement in itself, like Shivangi and you have been like it's and I'm not kidding you. Like a lot of times, after meditation, like sometimes I have to talk about things, and I have even like thought about it, and even sometimes I even prepare it, and then after the meditation, I'm in this state where like even speaking is like breaking that silence, breaking that, you know, that state that just so um, calming and comforting. So
I actually think that's wonderful. It's wonderful that we all feel so calm that there's nothing to say. That's great.
it's amazing. Yeah, which is unlike, a lot of times, imagine like, and seriously, like, imagine that, um, when there are like 10 people, how much noise it, 100 people, I mean, so much noise. And in these satsang sessions, I mean, year in and year out, I have seen like thousands of people, like literally thousands of people sitting in silence when the core meditation happens, sitting in silence. That is incredible. And there is so much energy around that. It's just, you know, you have to experience it to phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, energy exchange can be done in so many ways. It's
Yep.
not just verbally, it's actually very nice to be able to sit in silence with people.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me of a chapter that Guru Maharaj's 7-volume book on his spiritual journey. He talks about like how, this energy or power is transmitted from one person to another. And he says like in satsang, that that's how, a guru is supposed to uplift everybody. So it's an interesting phenomena. And that's when I came with that example of, the water tank for the community, and the tanks in every household in the community, and all you need is that connection to the bigger, um, so so the bigger water tank, interestingly, is at an elevated state, number one. Number two, it is the capacity is much larger. So as soon as you yourself make your ability to have an elevated state and the capacity to have this positive energy increase, you are the guru. It's as simple as that.
Mhm. Maybe one day, either during one of our sessions or maybe another time, like I would love to hear more about your grandfather and how he came to the calling of being a guru, actually. That would be interesting.
Yeah, we definitely should talk about that. He has written a bit here and a bit there about how he, after like a, like ages, many years of serving here, serving there, meeting someone, then finally how he found his guru and how his guru enlightened him. And what he says is that um, the right way to start sharing with others is only when the person who uplifted you directs you to do that rather than you yourself decide to do it. So you do it as a service to your guru and not for yourself or others. So that's the interesting concept, which also, in a way, keeps your ego and other things at bay. Um, but more importantly, I think, the concept of uh, connecting with the energy and becoming the energy once. So there are like multiple forms of obstacles, and you need to first understand those obstacles and how those can be removed. Once the hurdles are removed and the connection is you know plain simple and pure, boom, that's it, that's the time. Interestingly, maybe I'll talk about. Do you remember I talked about like three levels of guru, like in the context of the pyramid?
I think so.
It's that's an interesting concept that you know. So like in the universities, there are teaching assistants, right? They are also teaching, and then there are lecturers, and then there is a professor or the head of the department. So there is a level of teachers too, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So the same thing applies here. It's like, you know what comes to my mind, and because it's this story is fairly well known. So there was this person who used to live in a jungle, and would anybody who would be crossing, that's he would actually take all the possessions this person had and would take one of his fingers and put in his garland he had around his neck. um, and this person then encountered Buddha. So Buddha was crossing that area, and he, you know, uh, came up to him, and obviously Buddha didn't have anything, uh, and he tried to scare him, but nothing happened. And then eventually, it's a long story, but um, you know, so just that encounter with Buddha changed this person's life so much that eventually he became one of Buddha's followers.
Mhm.
So that is an example of like the highest level of guru, where just the encounter will exchange the energies to a point where the transformation is almost instantaneous, or call it like it's deep enough to make a significant change. uh, because see, at all levels, everything we learn, uh, in a way, it's transforming us. That transformation could be a drop in a bucket, or suddenly I feel uh, it's a whole lot that got filled in the bucket, or it's a bucket full instantly, right? So it's a interesting, yeah, we definitely should talk about some of that. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that story, though.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I mean, just one encounter and boom, nothing else to be done. So
Mhm.
it's not that. So satsang essentially is, so when you, in some way, shape, or form, you have to somehow, manifest meeting a person who can just like, rest is history kind of thing.
Mhm.
So till then, everything is kind of work in progress. All right. So on that note, and thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, I'll definitely, collect some of those things that Guru Maharaj has written himself, and we'll share.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And on that note, have a good week ahead, everyone, and glad that we were here. Looking forward to seeing you all again. Take care. Namaskar.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
All
Sabhi.
right.
Namaskar.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi,
Good
Warren,
week.
Liz,
Have a good week.
Arvindji.